Hey everyone and welcome. Brian here today, and I'm going to go over my thoughts regarding the new Double Cross Hotbar, which was added in patch 3.4 this past week. Mainly as obviously a controller player, the more actions and commands that they keep adding is really awesome, but having a place for them and being able to manage that really became a process of careful study, trial and error, and then eventually correction and trying again. The Double Cross Hotbar really helps me to add it really helps me to address these issues in a lot of ways. And while I'm working on making updated job controller guides using the Double Cross Hotbar, I wanted to bring you this overview and impressions guide of the system so far. And unfortunately, if you happen to be on the PS3, I'm so sorry, but you don't have access to this feature. Hopefully you'll be able to upgrade in the future, and maybe this video will become helpful at that point. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to dive into the Double Cross Hotbar and really what it gets right. I have a couple of gripes, just not horrible, but there are a lot of options, and so we'll try to get into that here today. So obviously the more actions that you will have available are within reach, so you can see them, and I've got them positioned here, and I'll show you guys how to actually position your Double Cross Hotbar actions however you want, which is really handy. But I kind of put them here in this kind of triangle style system in and of itself. So this is important obviously because the extended cross hotbar, which is the L trigger, R trigger, those actions really are invisible for me, and so unless I did something fancy like put them up here so I can kind of see their cooldowns, and I also did that just for other skills to help make sure that that they're really at the forefront of my attention, I've put them there as well. Okay, so there are a ton of options to play around with, so let's go ahead and actually kind of get to using the system and how we highlight that here as well. So to get to the cross hotbar settings, it's going to be the start, go over to system, character configuration are your options, and then you have this hotbar settings section listed right here. You've got lots of controls and lots of things you can do, but we're going to focus in on the hotbar settings, and you can see here I was already kind of playing around with the custom. So on the display side, nothing really much here to report. You can kind of play around with what, if anything, you want to have displayed, etc. But it's really going to start in the cross section. So a couple of new options. One, which I really, you guys can play around with and see what you feel like, but the transparency when not in use. So if I, for some reason, bring this up to 100%, I'm going to hit apply. So you can see it. So you can see all my actions, but if I hold the right trigger, you see everything else disappear. If I hold the left trigger, you see everything else disappear. Double tap, double tap. That's going to be up to you. Like if you're attacking, that means you're not able to see if there's anything that is triggered on the right hand side. And so I started with this, and I actually had it much higher. So I had it like in the 60% range, and so you can still see it, but it's grayed out, and so this didn't actually work for me the more that I gave it, because especially if I was playing a tank or anything that might have a reaction combo and things like that, it just for some reason made my mind think that it was disabled or wasn't able to be used at this time, much like you would see a kind of a moat happen if you jump. You see that kind of they're grayed out right there. So that was kind of like a little bit, so I came back and started adjusting this, and really have since lowered it to about the 15 range as my preference, so that they're still there, they're still visible, they still look like I can use them, but they're less highlighted. So it kind of helps differentiate that a little bit more about where I'm at, etc. Okay, so a couple other options. You've got always displayed the double cross hotbar, so turning that off, you can see that they go away. I could still use them by double tapping, so if you wanted to save visual space, you can do so. I'm going to keep mine on. That's my preference, because that's one of the added benefits, in my opinion, to the system. Return to cross hotbar after cross hotbar input. Okay, so this is really important, and you're going to find something that works best for you in this case. But let's say I go ahead and use this potion right here. It automatically shifts me back to using the left trigger. Same thing kind of goes with the right trigger. So if you want, you can turn that off. And so if you go here and you want to use this skill or that skill, I probably should target something so that you can kind of see that in action. So if I want to stay here, I can turn that off and it's going to stay up here. And I'm going to stay in this mode until I release and return. So that's really, it's really going to be your kind of personal preference on a lot of this, but for me, what I'm using it for is one-offs, is that ability like that's either going to trigger or I'm not going to use it often. So you saw, for example, I have the potions and or the ethers and really whatever I want to put here as well. So that's just essentially what you can kind of do. I want to use it. I'm not going to be staying on that because I want to return right back into what I want to do. So you can also think of like, kind of max pushing of intelligence as being a good thing if you're on a caster, or vitality on a tank, things like that. Okay, so that's really interesting and important. I would recommend you kind of play around with it, see what works best for you. Position cross hotbar separately from the cross hotbar. So that's how you see that I've gotten this kind of triangular stack right here. So if I turn that off, you can see it returns to this default, which is kind of right over here. And if you like that, and that's good, that's awesome. So selecting that allows me in the HUD system to be able to position that. So I'm going to hit apply there. Lastly, you can go in and under enable double cross hotbar with simultaneous L and R double tap. I've got it with 4 buttons, and this is where you would select whether the left or the right and then what number cross hotbar you want. This actually was at first a little bit confusing because I tried to drag and drop actions onto this area and it won't let you. You have to, if you want to set your cross hotbar actions, you have to navigate to the like in this case set 3 where they are set and have to put them here. You can't set them from wherever you are. Those are just visual representations of, in this case, set 3, which is defined again via this option. So you can kind of set them to any one that you want, which is really nice. You can see that's still you can still have expanded, and you can still set those there as well. And then you can also enable it with kind of all 4. So that means A, B, X, Y, up, down, left, right. And so if you really wanted to have a whole nother 16 actions built up for you, you have that ability, and that's really great. But then you just need to figure out what you're positioning and how you want that to apply. So for now, I am playing around with just the 4 buttons themselves. So like I said, I'm working on the different job guides updated with the double cross hotbar, but that's pretty much what I've got there. Now, a con perspective that I have already with the system is by default, and for whatever reason mentally, I'm thinking that up, down, left, right would be what is used over here on the left side and A, B, X, Y on the right, but it's not the case. So this is to use these abilities, I would have to hit A as opposed to have to hit down or left. And that's just a matter, I guess, of educating myself in the system and how it's used per se. So it's just a matter of kind of that preference. You can set it to up, down, left, right, and doing so right now unfortunately won't hide those unused slots. So if you wanted to set the left to up, down, left, right, you can do so, but you have to do that here, and you have to enable directional buttons, and then it will allow you to set and use them on the left, up, down, left, right. But you're going to see the unused options here. You can't hide them for the double cross hotbar. You can only hide them for cross hotbar options currently. So anyway, that is one thing. So we talked about positioning a little bit, and so I've got to have mine set independent. So I've actually kind of built 2 different HUD layouts to kind of show that off. So here's me kind of setting them a little bit more off kilt to what they are by default. And you can really go into your HUD layout and actually position those individually. And you do so because they have these 2 new options, left cross hotbar and right cross hotbar. So you can kind of just drag and drop them wherever you want. So just find out what really works for you and go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And you can see that I've got that little different positioning listed there as well. So Guys, if you've had and gals, if you've had the opportunity to check out the Double Cross Hotbar and you found anything that was particularly surprising, let me know in the comments below. I'm going to be working on updated job guides to to every job that I've already done, as well as finish the ones that I have yet to. So with that, I wish you all the best. I hope you enjoyed this new feature, and I will see you in Eorzea. Take care.